Hey guys, time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. Today is, what is today anyway? Good grief. Tuesday the 16th of April. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we did today. So today Rafa spent pretty much most of the day installing the gauges on the beautiful turquoise 62 Beetle. The owner is wanting to go with more of like a European rally look. So, lowered slightly. He's already got the wheels and the lights and stuff like that. So he wanted to add some gauges and make it a little bit more purposeful looking. I'm not going to show these in a lot of detail right now because, again, I'm going to do a very thorough walkthrough video of this car. But in the meantime, you can see the three gauges to the left of the speedometer. So it's oil pressure, oil temperature, and a tachometer. I'll give you a little bit better look. So these are new IMPI gauges that are very, very sick looking. So anyway, again, I'll spend more time on that later. Again, I don't mean to be such a tease, but I do want to give this car a very thorough walkthrough when the time comes. But yeah, so part of what took Rafa a long time was actually he went ahead and fished the wires for the senders. So there's one for the tachometer and then one for oil pressure and one for oil temperature. He went ahead and fished those up over the roof line over here, which is where the stock wiring harness runs. And on an assembled car, that's really kind of a pain in the butt. And there's some insulation up in there, and it actually took him quite a while to get a fish line through there from the trunk compartment, the bottom of the A-pillar, up and over, and then down here into the engine compartment. So that in itself took quite a while, but of course that is the cleanest way to do the install, to add wires to the engine for gauges, is to do it. The other option is to run into the car kind of under the back seat, and then you can run it along the carpet and then up, and either way it's going to look clean and you wouldn't see it. But the owner did mention he was kind of hoping that we could run it up over there, so that's what we did. And it took a while, but at the end of the day, it's about as clean of an install as you could get for adding some gauges to an existing car. So they are, let's see, I don't think he actually wired them today. So most of the day was spent installing them. So part of the reason that, other than running the wires up over here, it took a long time, and I'll show this again in more detail later, is you have to pretty extensively cut the dash behind this speaker grill to fit these in. There's a bar that runs across there that has to be cut out, but the upper right and lower right gauges actually kind of go onto the sheet metal of the dash, if that makes sense, behind that speaker grill there. So you have to actually kind of cut up into there more than just cutting that bar across there. And I can show that later from the trunk direction what that looks like. So again, on a car this nice, it's kind of terrifying cutting it. So really, really taking our time and cutting the minimum amount of metal and stuff like that. And then, of course, saving that piece in case the owner ever decides to go back and return it back to 100% stock. He could weld that piece back in if needed. But yeah, so that was pretty much Rafa's day. My day, I must have run 100 different errands today. I don't know what was going on. Just one of those days where every time I thought I was going to get to work on something, I had to run another errand. So I did manage to work a little bit today on this beauty in between running errands. And kind of the main thing I did was install the fresh air hoses here for the heater system. Like most things on these motors, when you bring them back totally to stock like this, it's kind of a pain to install. There's this metal sleeve that goes down into the exhaust here. Of course, they never really fit that well, so you have to go and gently massage the sheet metal on the exhaust here and get that collar down in there and get that to fit. And then this hose, we basically buy it in long length, so you got to kind of figure out the right length and cut it. And it's just one of those things that you think it would be like, you know, a 10-minute job to install these things, but no, to do it right and do it clean, it actually ends up taking considerably longer than that. But, you know, the end result, I think, speaks for itself. Motor probably did not look this good when it came from the factory, honestly. So it's getting very close. The other thing I did is installed the coil with one of the stickers that we have printed up here. That's the appropriate sticker. We went ahead and installed a blue coil on here because it looks bitchin' and it's kind of a period correct piece. What else? The fuel pump, I went and bought one today for it. It's just sitting there because somehow I lost the little spacer that goes in here. I think I probably left it on the motor when it went to rebuild, so I'll get another one of those and install that, and then install that that fuel pump. Other than that, the motor is about done. I've got to still install the flywheel and then clutch and pressure plate. And then, as I mentioned yesterday, get the insulation and the seals in here, and then this puppy can go in. So that is pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.